Hey guys. Right, so I wanted to show you what a normal session was like with Otto, show the good, the bad and the ugly type of thing, no holes barred. But typically I think as soon as the camera goes on I start to freak out and all our sessions end badly. So here's a few bits from a session we had during the week. This is me just warming him up. I've kind of cut it down so there's quite a few bits where you can't see me because of where the camera's placed. And I'm just walking around on a long rein and doing stuff like that. I've just snipped them bits out so you don't have to watch me for hours. So, I'll talk you through a few bits and then leave you to watch a few bits, see what you think. So this is me just warming up now. I don't start with him really long and low because he is naturally on the forehand. So I try and not have him all the way up there to start with, but, definitely not let him go with a really long, low frame. So I tend to start with quite a few transitions because he's quite backwards thinking. He's not the most forward thinking horse you've ever seen. He'd rather do everything as slow as possible. So this is me even while I'm cantering round, I will just be trying to wait the canter a couple of steps, give him a little half halt and see if we can just slow the canter and then just push the canter on a couple of strides and then see if he'll wait again. Always keeping him interested. He gets bored very easily, so it seems to work best for me if I can just keep his mind on the game all the time. Like I think I said to you in the last video, he's a little bit spooky and he can be a little bit silly. So the more concentration I can get from him, the more he's concentrating on me and what I'm asking him to do, the better the results tend to be. So yeah, I'll just leave you to watch a little bit more of my warm-up and I'll come back when we start doing other things. Yeah, so as you can see, Otto gets a bit stuffy in the neck. He's got quite a short little upright neck, and he knows how to use it against me sometimes. So I just wanted to come in here and say, this is why I'm I move him around quite a little bit in the neck when I warm him up. He can get a little bit argumentative about that sometimes, but Okay, this is us. I just started to move on to doing a little bit of half pass now. And I just keep coming around and doing on the same rein for a little while until he just feels like he's suppling and he's responding a little bit better. He's trickier to ride this way because he wants to leave his quarters behind. Like he's not got so much bend through the left hand side, like he doesn't bend left as well as he does right. So you'll see now probably when I start doing the right half pass, I have to be careful his quarters don't lead. Like he actually wants to bring his quarters first this way, whereas on the other rein, he'd quite like to leave them on the track. So, the way I deal with that is just trying to get some more suppleness on the left bend, trying to get him really bent round my inside leg. I work quite a lot on, with the shoulder in and the travers especially, with my bend and suppleness through them. That can really help to develop it in the half pass. Now with these half passes, probably going a little bit more back to basics. I'm not sure what you guys want to hear. What I'm looking for is that he just kind of does, the way I ride it is I just head him across the diagonal, point, pick a point on the centre line that I want to make it to, and then I ride like his ears and his shoulders for that point, and then put him in travers. So it's just like travers across the diagonal line. And literally that's it. I think it can be very easily overcomplicated. And I get, when you get higher up the levels and you need it to be more expressive and this, that and the other. But for the purpose of this, what I'm doing with him right now is I am just pointing his shoulders and his ears towards where I want him to go, and then bringing the quarters in. So if I'm coming in, like let's go on this rein because that's where we are. If I'm coming in right half pass now, I would make sure that he's in right bend, and his chest more than his shoulders, that's a better way to put it. His chest, I want it kind of aimed towards the point that I want to get to, and then I'm going to put my left leg back and ask for the quarters to come in to the right. Yeah. Like I say, on the right rein with him, not too much left leg because he will take over with his quarters. He very much wants to lead with his quarters, so it's just finding that balance there. Make sure you've got that bend around your inside right leg. They need to be bent at all times. And also things like teaching the half pass, don't do it too early with them, because if you haven't got a good enough quality trot or canter in the first place, it is going to get worse when you do something like half pass. It's quite a high level movement. I always would teach leg yield, and you have to teach the leg yield, get the horse moving sideways off your leg, understanding that part of it first, and then your shoulder in and your travers, that needs to come before you do anything like this as well, because that, like I said, I am riding travers on the diagonal line. So if your horse is not established and correct in its paces, and it doesn't know like travers and shoulder in, so you can independently freely move the horse's quarters, the horse's shoulders, that you're in control of all four legs, then the half pass is something. Well, it's not fair on the horse to ask for it anyway, but it's not going to come. So, don't just think, I've watched this video about half pass and now I'm going to go and do it tomorrow, because, you'll be disappointed. It is a little bit of a higher level. But yeah, and that's it. You see, he comes a little bit above the vertical on this rein. He just has not got the bend and the suppleness. It's something I work on, and some days it's much, much better than what I got this day. Like I say, it seems I put the camera on and forget how to ride. That's something I'm going to have to get used to as well. But I'll let you just carry on watching this and see what you think. Obviously, I'm always here if you've got any questions on why or how or what I'm doing. And I'll come back to you in a bit. Okay, so I've just brought him back to the trot now. This is great just to get that suppleness and the swing back in him because he's quite rigid in the canter work. So you can see that I'm just doing the same thing as I said to you at the start. I can ask for a little bit more collection now because he's obviously fairly warmed up and he's been working a little while. So just collect the trot, collect it. And then when he is responding and he stays supple and he's not tearing my arms out or coming above like he does like to do, then I can just allow the trot forward again for a few strides, and then I just ask him to collect for a few strides and repeat. And this is just again to make sure that I've got him on the aids, to make sure that when I do change the pace, do you know, when I want it to be a little bit more collected or I want it to push it a little bit more forward, that he doesn't drop the back or he doesn't lift his head or toe down on me and run off. It's just to make sure, it's just testing that, you know, I can adjust things without him overreacting to them, that he can still do them calmly and softly. So that's just what I'm doing here in between exercises and my lateral movements. Okay, and here's where things started going wrong. Now, we are not particularly established in our canter pirouettes yet. We're really right at the start of them. So, you know, I never expect them to be amazing. But he just got really rigid on me in this session. I think I ride him stiffly as well. I'm not blaming him at all, by the way. Like, we're both learning about these together, so you'll have to bear with us. But this is what I want to show you, that it's not... They don't just come and they're just perfect overnight. Again, really, really high level. The canter pirouettes need a lot of collection. You know, they need them to really sit behind. It is not something Otto finds natural at all, especially in the canter work. He is desperate to drop his back on me and lift his frame and just trail his back legs out behind him somewhere. He's getting better, he gets stronger all the time, but it takes a lot of time, doesn't it? So again, please don't go try these at home if you haven't, you know, if you're not there yet with your horse. It takes a serious amount of strength, and again, you have to, like, for something like this, well, you've taught near enough every other movement before you get here, but you want to be definitely established in the walk pirouettes. The walk pirouettes are crucial. Do you know if you can't pirouette in the walk, you won't be able to do it in the canter? Yeah, so really make sure you've got them walk pirouettes nailed first before you would even think about doing anything like this. And when I mean nailed, it's like I kind of get into the habit of just making sure that they're just right all the time and the pace is right, but you have to actually be able to adjust them. Like, don't forget that, because I do too easily. You know, you have to be able to get them to go quicker with the hind leg, to go slower, to make them bigger, to make them smaller, you know, to be able to adjust the neck and it. So like you can see these problems that you have when you don't. They just get a little bit fixed in the neck, and he struggles with it. And that, you know, when you go up and you do something higher level like this, it shows all them gaps in your training. So, you know, get that basic stuff nailed first before you start moving on to the higher level stuff. I'll let you carry on watching, and I'll be back once we change what we're doing. Okay, so then I went on to have a go at have a play with the changes. I probably shouldn't have bothered after the way the canter pirouettes went, but I was just trying to work through my 2-time changes. He's getting good at them, I'm pleased with him, but he does swing his quarters to the right, like he likes to bring his quarters to the right in the half pass, and, you know, da-da-da, I should know better, really. So he's worse on this rein. You'll see that he doesn't always get the 2s, because he swung his quarters so far to the right. It is sometimes, although I ask him on the 2, he changes on the 3rd stride. And then he gets all confused and throws some 1s in there. That his 2s were always great until I started playing with the 1s, which again, we're learning all this together. I've not done these on any other horses. He obviously hasn't done them before. So, you know, we're quite good at confusing each other. But the 2s were always really good and quite solid. And then when I put the 1s in, now he gets a little bit stressed out about the changes. So, you know, I like go back and calm him down about them every now and again. And I don't play with the 1s all the time. But yeah, with the changes, I mean, they are simple on him though, compared to other horses. Look, now he fights and he runs, or he's pooing as well, to be fair. But he, this is how he gets stressed out, and then he just starts running through the bridle. So I just have to try and like settle him back down. And again, it's all about trying to keep them nice and relaxed in the frame, do you know, and them not getting themselves tense and stressed, because, you know, then it all does go wrong, doesn't it? But yeah, with the changes with him, I literally I'm trying my best now. I'm down to the 2s to just move through my seat. If I move a lot in my changes, I know that is something that I'm working on. But it's just like about moving that seat bone forward, you know, like into the new. So you can see that I changed my legs and put my new outside leg back. But it's just trying to get it to move, you know, like move using my seat more than like moving my body and my legs so much, because obviously as you get down to the 1s, you haven't got much time. You need them to do it off a much more subtle aid, let me say. And then this, now I've just moved on to, this is just me cooling him down now. So you can see that I'll just put him in a little bit of a longer frame now. He's quite good at still just tucking his nose in behind, especially in the canter work. So I just try and encourage him to just let the nose out without him running onto the forehand. You know, he's quite fired up now. He's done his work and now he's like, charge. So I just try and get him to just relax and stretch his neck out a little bit. So you can see I do quite a lot of outside flexion, you know, flex him a little bit more to the inside, and just to try and like loosen his neck from side to side a bit, and then offer the rein down. And this is just so he gets that nice stretch at the end. Some people do this at the start of the session as well, but like I say, with him, I find if I put him down there at the start, there's like a battle to get him up. So I tend to put the stretchy work in at the end. So I'll let you just finish off watching it without me blabbering on. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And if there's anything specific you want to see, or you want me to talk about more in future videos, please let me know. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos, and tell your friends about it. And hopefully I'll see you for the next one. Cheers, guys.
First round, I had enough. I hold on to you, this might be a bit rough.